Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are heading to the Stack for a Newcastle United fan event. Let's get into it. So yes, ladies and gents, we're getting into this one, man. Oh, that was absolutely class, man. I'll get into why I'm so buzzing soon enough, because that was just a wicked fan event. Look, as for the news aspect of things and what was spoke about at the event, we'll get right into the thick of it straight away. Matthew Riesbeck comes on. He introduces Darren Eales, Peter Silverstone, Brad Miller, Sporting Director Paul Mitchell, which it's fantastic to see them four coming out at any time and interacting with the fans. Really cool experience from my side. As for what they had to talk about, a lot of it was focused on sort of the outreach to fans. There was a big focus around the stadium. They really wanted a lot of feedback around the stadium about whether they should move the stadium, whether they should stay and extend it. A really weird thing that they did though, which I found a bit mad, and I think it was just when they were talking so much about fan interaction, I think it was just one of those to try and keep the fans involved here, and approve of doing that fan reaction, but it was still strange. I felt like I was at school. They were like, so which would you rather? Raise your hands for option A. Everyone's raising their hands. Raise your hand for option B. Everyone else is raising their hands now. The microphone on two of the lads wasn't too loud. I kept saying they need to turn it up. So not everyone in the room sort of heard option A and option B, so everyone was a little bit like, what am I putting my hand up for? But, you know, it was cool that they asked. There was certainly more vote for the whole option of stay where St. James's Park is and extend. They did mention that they expected that, but they never gave any sort of confirmation on which it's actually going to be. It wasn't definitive brand new news. It was more talking about where they're at in the process in the terms of like signing players, training players. As for the signing players part, it was more focused on the process of it, not the actual, oh, we're bringing anyone in. There was no big name drops or anything like that this evening, but it was very much about focusing on what the club's doing behind the scenes, who works with who. Paul Mitchell obviously talking and joking a lot about his relationship with Eddie Howe. But yeah, we'll get a bit from me and Causey, because I did speak to Causey about it all.
Take it away. We'll get on to the legends in a minute, because that was quite a fun experience. Talking about what they spoke about, obviously it was a lot about the stadium, financial fair play, all that business. Do you think it was anything new that we heard?
No, I don't think it was anything new. Well, I think it was more kind of the reiteration of what's going on. You know, they spoke a lot about the sponsorships that they brought in, the partnerships they brought in. I think it was 12 new partners they said they brought on board in the last year. And I think it's just reiterating that stance and where we used to be 3 years ago, where we are now, but the fact that we're still on that journey. You know, I think it was Paul Mitchell who said, we don't just stop here, we continue going, because our competitors, our rivals, he didn't specify names, but he played on about like your Cities and your Chelseas. You know, they've had years of advantage on us on this. So it was pretty much, we're catching up, we're playing catch up to them teams. So we need to accelerate and we need to continue growing. What's happened behind was done. The sponsorship we've got done. But how do we continue to grow that brand, grow into new markets? And yeah, I don't think it was anything new, but I think it was a reiteration of what we've done and where we're going.
But it was nice for Paul Mitchell to sort of reiterate the fact that him, Darren Eales, Eddie Howe, they all very much are hands-on. They're a team player. We needed that reassurance with the men's team.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, Paul Mitchell was making jokes about it, about from September every day one of Eddie and Paul walks and things like that. And, you know, like, is Eddie with Paul? Is Paul with Eddie? Is he at the training ground? And I think really, as we all know, blows things out of proportion. There's a lot of speculation. But he affirmed that he's got a fantastic relationship with Eddie Howe, and he sees Eddie as little or as much as he needs to see him.
So yeah, I just want to focus on Darren Eales' final word. He was very, very emotional almost when he was saying he thanks all the fans. Exactly what they want is the fan interaction. It's a big club. They know that. They know it's at the heart of the city. They want more of this. They're enjoying and trying to focus on as much as this as possible. The aim is to bring a trophy in. We've heard that loads from Darren Eales. And collaborating, he was really focused on this. Like I say, the big thing about tonight was showing that fan interactions in. He says collaborating will always be with supporters to bring what fans want. The interaction will always be forefront of the club's ambition. Then, a big one for the Newcastle United women fans. Leah Cataldo and Alicia Body came to the stage, and obviously we spoke about the big elephant in the room immediately, which was Alicia Body being called up to the under-23 England squad. Buzzing. Now, Body went on to tell a funny story about how she found out in the Metro Centre, and she got the call from the England's under-23 manager, you know, seeing that she was part of the team, and I thought that was so Geordie, isn't it? You're just stood in the Metro Centre finding out, you know, and she was absolutely buzzing. She knows it's a step in the right direction. It's her first under-23s call-up. She has been involved in the youth, for those of you that don't know. And then it worked on to Leah Cataldo. Now, women's fans will know that Leah Cataldo is obviously out at the minute, and everyone's been wondering where she is. Well, she did mention that she's got a fractured fibula. She's on her way back. She's feeling stronger, and she's looking to the comeback. It's been hard mentally on her, especially the games at weekend. Harder to see when she can't play. You know, like last Sunday, she mentioned at St. James's Park when they left it to the dying minute, and she knows she's not coming on to make an impact. So that was hard for her, and she did confirm that the look is for the push to promotion again this season. Yes, they both spoke about Southampton match at St. James Park at the weekend, said it was absolute scenes, it was unreal seeing the fans. They spoke about the support. They both stated the fans are the 12th man without doubt for them. They make a huge difference. Without the fans, they wouldn't be where they are. And Leah repeated the same.
And one that I like as well, which me and Leah have been in debate about, is that the women's objective this season is to go for the trophy and to back promotions. Did that shock you a bit?
No, not at all, because I think Becky Langley's spoken about it in the past that, you know, when new ownership came in, and a man that spoke about this a lot when she was at the club, she wanted the women's team to WSL within 5 years. Yep. And obviously, Paul Mitchell's come in as sport director and got a very close relationship with Becky and with Sue. And again, they've got a plan to get to the WSL. And if that happens this season, fantastic. If it happens next season, wherever it may be, fantastic. That will be, that is the end goal. And Becky Langley speaks every interview after every game. Okay, that match is done. Now we focus on the next match. They don't look 2, 3, 4 matches ahead. They focus on the next match and they focus on winning that match. So to me, it's no surprise that they won the Golden WSL this season. And I think if you look how tight the league is, I think any one of their teams could win that league this season. So why not? Why not?
We're talking about who was going to come on. We'd seen Shola Mayobi down the bottom, so we knew Shola was there. We'd guessed Rob Lee, and we'd guessed Nobby Solano with all the stuff he's been doing. He took his first Metro ride recently. Out comes Shola Mayobi. Out comes Rob Lee. And then out comes Papa Cisse. Oh my God, what a standing ovation that man got. Oh, I was buzzing. Look, we're focused on Cisse. He was happy to be back. He said he was very sad leaving the club. He loves the city. He loves the people. He loves the club. Yeah, he always comes back when he can. He was absolutely bouncing and buzzing to be there. He did obviously go on to talk about the iconic goal at Chelsea, which he said was it's basically his identity now. When he was asked about the goal, he went, that goal at Chelsea was like the first goal's overlooked, which he prefers the first goal. He says it's a very typical striker goal, that's his personal best one. But the second goal, that one, the volley, there was a great little story that came from it. He says it's his identity. Wherever he goes in the world, he gets asked about that goal. It's his passport around the world, he says. So, but then obviously Shola's there, and they spoke about, he said Shola said don't shoot. It switches about Shola, and Shola says, yeah, I've seen him do it loads of times in training, you know, and it hasn't worked out. And he went, I chested it down to him, and I knew what he was going to do. I've seen it a million times, and I just went, don't do it! Don't do it! Yes, Pappy, that's incredible! Oh, the place lit up when that story went out. That was funny as out. Absolutely brilliant.
But it's something that is in the club still to this day, isn't it? It's all about the fans, it's all about the city, it's all about this thing, part of the club, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that we can kind of relate to that on so many levels. You know, Kevin Keegan said, you know, the fans, the heart of the city, and stick with it, and you'll get your club back. You know, Bobby Robson's got famous quotes about kind of a young child walking up the steps for the first time. Like, this is a working class city, working class fans, one club city as well. Yeah, and I think a lot of the DNA that we've got now under the new ownership, under the new management, both men's and women's teams, is very much a throwback to the Keegan days, to the Robson days, to the team of the entertainers, the return of the entertainers in the Robson. And what we spoke about is that over the last kind of 10 to 15 years, when Mike Ashley was in charge, he was often asked, would any of that team get any entertainers? And he would always say no. Ask him if any of the players would get in, and there's a few strong choices and a few strong contenders. Although he did say that he's not sure Bruno will get in ahead of him. But so it's great to have that identity, and you know, we know what Newcastle is about. Exciting, fast-paced, intense football. It wasn't a Keegan, it wasn't a Robson, and he's now been gaining that Eddie Howe, and of course Becky Langley with his team as well.
He did touch upon, and he said something very, very, very strongly, which got a massive, massive, massive cheer from the crowd, about he doesn't get how Newcastle doesn't get all this financial fair play stuff, and he doesn't agree with it, and he doesn't get how we have to sell to amazing young players when Chelsea can bring in a huge amount of players. He did go on to say, but that said, our first 11 is a match for anybody, which was really nice to hear from Rob Lee. Obviously, got on his shoulders out of business, you know. He's the loan coordinator for the youth teams. He props the venue. He thanks the fans. He says he enjoys looking after the young talent, ensuring they get life skills to manage life in leagues, sustainability. Huge part of the youth program is to develop youth to bring them up and through, which he references Lewis Miley. He says NUFC is part of him. The same goes for CC. He's connected to the very fabric of the city. Well, that business about Shola, the Mackem Slayer. Obviously, he talks about the Mackem Slayer. That's his passport, he said, around the world. He is a Mackem Slayer. He was like Sunderland, scoring at Sunderland, beating them is always a dream come true. And he felt like he was destined to slay them. I love how much he embodies that. Got a bit of interaction. Rob Lee jokes that, he never looked after Shola. He always shouted at him a lot, run. And if he didn't pass, he would always bollock Shola. Oh, that was excellent. And Shola just backed up. He's like, yeah, Rob's right. He used to kick off with us all the time.
Of course, thank you for your time. Overall, has this been a good event?
Oh, it's been fantastic. As I said at the start, I think what I'd love to do these events, you know, over the last 10, 15 years of the Ashley regime, you'd never see anything like this.
Yeah.
And I think what the club have done, even just put stuff in place in the first place, to have a venue like this, and they spoke about it on stage. This isn't just for backstage like other fan zones or another Premier League crowd. This is open 7 days a week. It's for the city as well as the club.
Yeah.
You know, it's a revenue stream, and for the club to have this venue, for the club to have these events for members, season ticket holders, it was streamed on live for certain fans as well. Absolutely fantastic, and yes, the many of them.
Let's go. How are the lads? How are the lasses? Come on, the dude.
Look, that's been class. Causey, Dan, Jamie, thank you very much for catching us up when I got there. That was brilliant. Newcastle United at the club, thank you very much. And Marie, thank you so much for allowing us to use your ticket as well. What an unforgettable night that was. Got to meet Papa Cisse. Got to meet Darren Eales. Pleasure speaking to them both. Cisse, they were, oh yes man, I've met Cisse now. What? Aye, look guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Subscribe, easy for me to see, isn't it? And we'll see you in the next one. Some good games coming up. Come on the tune.